And as this potential trade war ramps up, Elon Musk's task force has been pushing to gain access to sensitive government information targeting a federal agency. Chief Washington correspondent
Elon Musk just sent shockwaves through politics with a bombshell about Angela Rayner that no one saw coming. Social media is exploding, and the consequences could be major. So what did Musk actually disclose, and how is Rayner handling the backlash? Here's the complete rundown.
To donate £100 million to Nigel Farage's Reform Party. If that's true, it would be, as I understand it, the biggest political donation in British history, and it would sure put rocket boosters, if you'll excuse the SpaceX pun, under reform ahead of the next election, wouldn't it?
The scene was primed for a surprise clash that would reverberate across British politics. On one side stood Angela Rayner, Labour's ascending force, celebrated for her fiery rhetoric and working-class roots. Opposite her was Elon Musk, the unpredictable billionaire whose daring comments and provocative views frequently disrupt the norm. What started as a standard political exchange rapidly turned into a moment that captivated viewers everywhere.
What do you think about what Elon Musk has been tweeting about Britain and the Prime Minister over the last few days?
Well, what I say is that all social media companies have responsibilities as well to deal with fake news. We've seen a lot of fake information being shared on online platforms. We've seen a lot of hate, and people have a responsibility to not conduct themselves and to amplify that, but actually to deal with the online misinformation, but also not to spread that hate. And, you know, we don't want to see that, whether that's online or offline, and people who are online spreading violence and inciting violence will be met with the law, as well as those that turn up and try and throw missiles.
It started with what appeared to be a harmless tweet from Musk on the future of electric vehicles in the UK. But Angela Rayner, never one to back down from a political clash, hit back, calling out billionaires meddling in government matters. What she hadn't anticipated was Musk's response, a cryptic, unnerving message suggesting secrets that might make her wish she had stayed silent. Suddenly, this was no longer just a policy debate. It had escalated into something far larger.
Get rid of Sir Keir Starmer before the next general election. He believes that Western civilization is threatened. There's been a lot of pushback. I think the Labour government's policy seems to either be to answer journalists' questions by attacking him or else trying to ignore him. But you sort of said that China can't be ignored. Elon Musk is essentially the richest man in the world, and one would argue perhaps one of the most powerful men in the world.
The online clash rapidly erupted into a media frenzy, flooding headlines and capturing the attention of major news outlets. What started as a Twitter spat had grown far beyond social media. Both Musk and Rayner agreed to a live TV interview. As they sat down, the tension was palpable, Rayner radiating her usual confidence, prepared to defend her position, while Musk reclined with his signature smirk, seemingly unbothered by the rising storm. From their opening words, it was obvious this wasn't going to be just another political debate. It was about to escalate into something far bigger.
Said that very few companies would be willing to invest in the UK under the current administration. Now, this wasn't just some off-the-cuff remark. Musk has made this statement in response to a letter from Scottish politicians who are hoping to woo Tesla into opening a new gigafactory in Scotland.
Musk, infamous for his unpredictability, seemed unusually composed, almost as if he had planned every move in advance. He skillfully sidestepped questions about his own controversies, redirecting the focus onto Rayner's past at every opportunity. Rayner stood firm, responding with her trademark poise, though sharp-eyed viewers could detect a hint of strain in her voice. Then came the turning point. Musk steered the conversation toward transparency in public life, speaking with such gravity that the room went quiet. The audience, once brimming with anticipation, now hung on every word. Something momentous was about to happen.
I don't think anyone should go to the UK when they're releasing convicted paedophiles in order to imprison people for social media posts. Yeah, blimey. Talk about not pulling any punches. But this wasn't just Musk being petty. It actually speaks to a core issue that's been at the heart of his beef with Labour. It's about free speech.
Musk's words struck with undeniable force as he emphasised leadership and the necessity of complete transparency. His statement lingered, loaded with unspoken implications, filling the studio with a tense atmosphere. For viewers at home, something seemed amiss. Rayner, usually confident and direct, appeared briefly unsettled. It was subtle, almost imperceptible, yet anyone watching closely could sense the shift. Musk's message had landed, and whether by design or accident, it had unmistakably hit a nerve.
Himself as a champion of free speech. Actually, he's even gone as far as to brand himself as a free speech absolutist. In his view, Labour, under Keir Starmer's leadership, is on the wrong side of this debate. Musk has repeatedly accused Starmer of restricting free speech in Britain. He's taken particular issue with the UK's online safety bill, which aims to regulate harmful content on social media platforms. In Musk's eyes, this is a step too far and it's potentially stifling free expression online. It's really...
What revelations had Musk uncovered that the public never knew? In the weeks before the explosive interview, he had quietly assembled a team of researchers to examine every detail of Rayner's past. Nothing was overlooked, public records were analysed, former associates were questioned, and her political history was dissected with meticulous precision. Musk wasn't there merely to debate, he arrived fully armed with intelligence.
But the free speech debate isn't the only point of contention between Musk and Starmer. Remember those riots in the UK last summer? Well, Musk waded into that controversy as well, dubbing the Prime Minister Two-Tier Keir. He wasn't the only one. Now, this nickname was Musk's way of criticising what he saw as unequal treatment in the justice system. He argued that the punishments handed out to those involved in the riots were disproportionate, especially when compared to other crimes.
The outcome was a carefully compiled dossier, packed with revelations that could unravel the polished image Rayner had cultivated over the years. Inside were hidden links, strategic choices, and past actions which, taken together, painted a far more intricate and potentially contentious picture of her ascent within the Labour Party. If released, these details had the power to alter public perception in ways Rayner had never imagined.
Made attracting businesses to Britain a central pillar of his economic strategy, at least in theory. With the UK facing low growth and the aftermath of some pretty hefty tax rises, which is putting it mildly, Starmer's been on a mission to woo international investors. So, having the world's richest man essentially giving your country's business climate a thumbs down, not exactly the ringing endorsement that Starmer was hoping for. Now, let's not forget what sparked this latest round of tension. The possibility of a Tesla gigafactory in Scotland. These aren't just any old factories. They are massive facilities that produce both electric vehicles and the batteries that power them. Huge. A gigafactory in the UK would mean thousands of jobs and a significant boost to the country's manufacturing sector, So it's no wonder
Rayner's image as a no-nonsense, working-class advocate was about to face its sternest challenge. Musk, measured and deliberate, zeroed in on a crucial point. Rayner had long framed herself as a self-made politician, rising from modest beginnings through sheer grit. Yet Musk's team suggested a more nuanced story. With impeccable timing, he unveiled evidence of previously undisclosed meetings between Rayner and corporate lobbyists early in her career. For the first time, Rayner's composure faltered, subtle, just a brief flicker of doubt. But in a high-stakes moment like this, even the slightest slip spoke volumes.
No wonder that Scottish politicians are eager to get Musk's attention. It'd be a huge boon for them. With Musk's latest comments, that dream seems to be slipping away. It's not just about Tesla. Musk's words carry weight in the business world. If other tech giants and investors start echoing his sentiments, start saying the same thing, it could spell real trouble for Labour's economic plans. Where's the growth? It's important.
Musk wasn't merely a politician playing a strategic game. He was an outsider with immense resources and a knack for disrupting the establishment. He arrived ready, presenting details of private meetings in upscale London venues, secretive discussions, and financial backing absent from official records. Each disclosure chipped away at the carefully curated image Rayner had spent years constructing. Noticing the mounting tension, the host attempted to steer the conversation elsewhere. But Musk pressed forward, underscoring his message: the public deserves to know who truly holds power in British politics.
His impact on the national economy, although larger businesses seem more confident than smaller ones. But Musk's comments do tap into a broader concern about the UK's attractiveness as an investment destination. Post-Brexit, and with ongoing political uncertainties, quite a lot of those, some investors have been wary about putting their money into British ventures. So, how has Labour responded to Musk's latest broadside? Well, that's the interesting part. They haven't, at least not directly. The Labour Party has maintained a conspicuous silence in the face of Musk's criticisms, which could be a strategic move. They don't want to get drawn into this. By not engaging directly with Musk, they avoid giving his comments more oxygen, the oxygen of...
To her credit, Rayner stood her ground. She countered, labelling Musk's claims as baseless conspiracy theories from a billionaire wielding too much influence with too little accountability. Yet something had changed. Her normally precise, steadfast rebuttal felt slightly unsettled. For viewers at home, the shift in momentum was unmistakable. By the interview's conclusion, the fallout was already in motion. Political analysts scrambled to dissect the disclosures, while Labour Party officials convened urgent closed-door meetings. The pressing question for British politics: what does this mean for Rayner's future?
Social media campaign by the world's richest man, Elon Musk, who accused Keir Starmer of complicity in what he called the rape of Britain, a failure to crack down on child abuse by gangs. Musk also said Home Office Minister Jess Phillips is a rape genocide apologist. And only this morning, Trump's advisor Musk wrote to 211 million followers that it should be prison for Starmer.
Rayner, long admired for her authenticity and working-class roots, now found herself at the eye of a political storm. Labour supporters faced a choice: defend her or demand answers. What had once seemed an unassailable image was now under intense scrutiny, stirring doubt and division within her base. Meanwhile, Musk's status as an unfiltered outsider only solidified. His unorthodox approach proved that even the most established politicians could be challenged. Whether viewed as a provocateur or a vital disruptor, his impact was undeniable. As the dust settled, one fact stood out: the balance of power in British politics had shifted in unexpected ways.
Ashamed of themselves, embarrassment. I think that woman needs to look in a blimmin' mirror. Maybe Lord Ali can afford to buy her one. The problem we have here, of course, is this isn't the first time in recent months that senior figures who are now, in America, who are...
Angela Rayner, once a cornerstone of Labour's ascent, now plunged into full damage control mode. Revelations about her undisclosed meetings with corporate lobbyists rattled the foundation of her carefully curated working-class image. The backlash was immediate and unrelenting. Her approval ratings fell, and even loyal supporters called for explanations. Labour's leadership, already contending with internal fractures, faced a critical decision: stand by Rayner and endure the storm, or subtly distance themselves to contain the political fallout. The stakes had never been more
A billionaire and a political party. It's about the future of free speech in the digital age, the challenges of investing, or rather of attracting, international investment in the post-Brexit economy, and the delicate balance between regulation and innovation. So whether you agree with Musk or not, you think he's wide of the mark, one thing's undeniable: his words have power. They can move markets and influence.
At the same time, Elon Musk's surprising foray into British politics ignited a wider debate on transparency and influence in public life. To some, he was a needed disruptor, revealing uncomfortable truths and challenging the establishment. To others, his actions raised serious ethical concerns. Should a billionaire with unlimited resources wield the power to shape political narratives? Whatever your view, one fact is undeniable. This episode has left a lasting mark on British politics. If you enjoyed this breakdown, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. We'll catch you in the next video.